Alright guys, back in the shop today, and we're working on our brakes some more. I think I'm going to start out by crawling under the back of the car and likely pulling out the brake lines that I tried to save for later. I think I'm just going to start from scratch. It'll be a little cleaner, neater. I don't have to deal with the coily anti-rub lines that are on there. And I've got the brake hoses mocked up, or at least connected. I think I'm going to try and get them to where they're about right there. That leaves me enough room to... My dad's clock is making noise. Leaves me plenty of room to get the calipers off to service them. And then I kind of want to leave a loop right in this area because that's where I tie down the car at when we go to the track. So I need to leave a gap there so I can get a strap over the diff. Anyways, I'm gonna try and get all this shit torn off, and then I can start mocking up the new distribution block as well as the welding rod to see what we want to make our new brake lines look like. I made a new bracket for the, I don't know, T-block, distribution block, whatever you want to call it. I got a spot on the housing cleaned up where I'm going to tack weld the brackets that will basically hold our brake lines about like so. And then after that, we'll start working on making up some hard lines. Alright, back in the shop. It's been about a week. In that time, my dad bought a new flaring tool. He's also got these lines bent up yesterday. I think they came out really sweet. They're pretty much parallel and about as tight as you can get. I'm working on bending up a piece of welding rod for the passenger side front brake line. And I've gotten all the way over to about down in here, and now I gotta continue it from this side and try and make them connect the dots. So far the brake line bending is going okay. We'll see how it goes when I'm actually breaking a tube and not a piece of welding rod that doesn't matter if I trash it. So anyways, maybe I'll set up tripod a little bit or something here and there, and we'll keep plugging away at it. I'm gonna try and get hose from this front out, down, head over here, and then tuck in behind this steering shaft bracket, and then head it over towards the other side. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'll try it out. Maybe I'll even weld the welding rod together or something to see if I'll be able to get it in and out of there as one piece. With the headers and the oil pan and hell, an engine for that matter, getting these brake lines in there are a little bit of a nightmare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down about 3 1/4, 3 3/8 maybe, and do a slightly greater than 90-degree bend, and then I can rotate that over here, and then I can kind of figure out at what point I want to drop down at an angle this way. So we'll see how that goes. just mocked up in place. Nothing's real tight, but it goes all the way over. Up underneath the cover. Somehow we managed to get them all the way over, up underneath our steering bracket up there. I think you can see that. And then we had to loosen that bracket up to get them in final install. But he comes up right over here and goes into the proportioning valve right there. My dad got those upper lines made yesterday while I was off goofing around. So now I'm gonna try and make a brake hose up, or a brake line up, to match the other side. So what I'll do is I'll come down, over, make a U-turn, and then we'll end up welding our bracket somewhere about right here. But what I'm going to do is we'll make up our brake line first, and then we'll weld the bracket last. That way we only have one fixed point to work from. So wherever it falls, it falls to an extent. As long as this guy is somewhere within a 4-inch square. Alright everybody, I have no idea where we left off the last time I recorded a video, but we've got all of the brakes, hard lines done. About 3 tries later, my dad got some front brake hoses that I think are about perfect. We've worked a little bit on mocking up this front rotor, and I think I've got him shimmed about as close as I can, but I'm gonna go ahead and add, I think, 20 thou shim behind there and down there. That way I can get it a little more centered up. In the back, we just finished up putting on all of our rear brakes. So the rear brakes are buttoned up. All we've got left to do back here is bleed them, which is always fun. I've got the hard lines done back here. I left a big gap on the axle so that we can tie the car down on the trailer. We take a couple of straps over the axle to tie the car down, crisscrossed in the back, right or wrong. And the axle hose is on. That's all tightened up. I've got this brake line bent up. It goes all the way along the frame rail, under here, up to the front, up to our proportioning valve bracket from Sin Cut Sand. And that's all about as tidy as we can get it. Luckily our old wiring worked out good for our line lock, so that should work out good. I had to snake that hose, or that line, down there and around to there, and then it continues along. But anyways, I'm about to start working on the fronts. Hopefully we can start bleeding some brakes today. So I'll get back to you in a little bit. Okay, first we've got our front brakes are all buttoned up, shimmed, spaced, whatever, clean, surfaced. We just made up some lines to bench bleed our master cylinder, even though it's not on the bench, it's in the car. And hopefully the brake gods are on our side today and we have better luck than we normally do when we're bleeding brakes. TBM brakes are done. They're bled. We have a decent pedal. Probably the best.
Nice front hoses, by the way.
Yeah, the hoses look good. Hopefully they don't rub too bad when the car's on the ground. We'll see. We're still waiting on lug nuts my dad ordered because the TBM stuff comes with 1/2 inch and our old stuff was 7/16. So I was thinking we could put the car back on the ground soon, but we can't really put the car back on the ground yet. Only had one leak, and that was just a loose fitting. Got it tightened up and no more leaks. The back's all buttoned up. The pedal feels pretty good overall. It's hard to say until we actually drive the car. But overall, the install went pretty good after we got all the brake lines made up. Kind of hard to see, but I feel like that's about a normal amount of pressure to stop, probably. And that's smashing the pedal really hard, and there's still quite a bit of room behind the pedal. So hopefully this makes the car 100 and so pounds lighter and brake a little better.